Hello everyone. Today I'm going to do an overview and mini review of OverRider, which is a indie roguelike beat 'em up. Obviously, roguelikes have been very saturated lately. There's been like 1,000 different Vampire Survivors clones, and then there's also been a lot of Hades clones too, and they're all kind of starting to blend together. If you're looking for something new, I definitely would recommend this game because it actually has a lot of really unique things about it, and it's got above average gameplay. There are some things about it that are jank. We may encounter some bugs while I do the gameplay segment of this video, just because I was given a early review key for the game, and I talked to them and helped them to fix some bugs. Also, Steam Deck compatibility is in the works due to them not having a Steam Deck, so I'm all the way on the other side of the globe, and I'm trying to help them set up the Steam Deck stuff. So you might have some performance issues on Steam Deck. At the time of recording, there is no Steam Cloud. However, I was told that that should be up by the time that the game releases. So if you're playing on Steam Deck, right now, currently, there is a frame rate bug where the game just drops frames when it shouldn't, even when it's not taxing your computer. I do not have MSI Afterburner up currently, but on my computer, my home computer, the game is not taxing my computer at all, but it would drop frames and stay down like that. I talked to them just about an hour ago, and they basically said that they may not have it fixed in time, but they are very receptive to feedback. I even gave them some gameplay feedback as well. So I think the game will get a lot better. For me, personally, there is one chapter of story and progression and upgrades and stuff, and then past that, it's just an endgame roguelike grind. So if you're used to, like, Blaze Brew Entropy Effect or like Hades and stuff, where the story kind of stops at a point, and then you can keep playing and grinding if you want to wait for the next batch of content, then you'll probably like this game. But if you're playing this for the story, or you want like a satisfying conclusion, you probably would want to wait until the game is out of early access. So in any case, this is the clinic, which is basically doubles as your home and your main gameplay base. So you go here, and there's a number of functions you unlock. This is just kind of standard upgrades, and we'll get into the possession mechanic when I get into gameplay, but basically, this is really going to date me, but if you guys have played something called Avenging Spirit, this game is very similar to that. The main difference would be that in Avenging Spirit, you basically controlled a ghost, and you could only be in your ghost form for a few seconds before you would die. In this game, the way it works is that you have a base moveset, but you basically want to transform, because transforming will give you a bunch of buffs here as you collect experience for each of the characters. Like, this is the basic martial artist guy, but you can see you get a lot of different upgrades here. Like, he's got a follow-up to his attack, he's got a super move, a bunch of damage buffs. A lot of the moves get new properties as well. It's going to take a really long time to get here, but as you can see, some of these bonuses are pretty significant. Like, you're getting a lot of damage bonuses, so if you had this guy maxed out over the other ones, it'd be a no-brainer to pick him because he's going to be doing so much damage than the ones you haven't leveled up. You can also level up the main character as well. So you can see this boxer guy is my strongest character currently. He's at B- out of triple S. I've used him a lot, and I've also done the surgeries as well. So he's got currently his heat bar increases faster, he has his super move, and then he has some extra properties coming up in the next couple upgrades. Okay, so the main way to upgrade, there's two main ways to upgrade the people that you possess. It's mainly, you can either, when you possess them, you'll get data, or you can also go into the surgery here. Surgery is pretty simple. They want certain parts, I guess, to enhance themselves or whatever. So you go in here, you just give them what they want. They'll give you money. Some of them are not playable characters, so they will give you upgrades for your passive abilities. Like, see, he got a big chunk of experience, so that's going to go towards leveling him up another rank. And this guy, I don't have enough stuff for him, so we're just going to go into a fight right now, but I'll go ahead and I'll show how the progression system works. Okay, so he upgraded. So now he's C+. He's barely passing high school. And he's got an extra 20% damage bonus. And then that's not going to be come close to getting him another upgrade anyway. You can also go here into your inventory. These are implants. These are basically the passive and active upgrades. So there are two kinds of upgrades in this game. There are passive upgrades and active upgrades. Like this is an active one right here. It's actually a really cool system because it's actually very deep. It's a lot deeper than what it seems like because you'll be putting your active implants on the moves that you possess. So they may be synergized better with certain characters, and they may be really bad with other ones. So even though there aren't a lot of these currently, it's actually a staggering amount of depth to your choices and the things that you can choose in the run, because some may be good on one character, they might be terrible on another, one might be like best in slot. So since I did some of the surgeries and I ranked some of them up in the instances, I actually got some upgrades here. Alright, so that's basically it. You can also go over here, there's a market. This is essentially what you will be using to, you know, get your meta progression. Like you get new clients in here, and the clients, when you do the surgery for them or whatever it's called, then you'll get different buffs, depending on different buffs or rewards depending on what you choose. So there's a bunch of things in here. You can show where things are going to drop. Personally, I think the best thing to go for at first is you want to have as many patients as possible. Patients are basically the amount of upgrades that you can get at the end of a run. So right now I have it maxed out, so 5 customers. And then you also want to... Where is it? Sorry, there's a lot of stuff in here. So clients, you want to max those out, max out the experience, because that's just going to be a flat damage bonus and, you know, just kind of fun bonus as well. Alright, so I'm going to save a little bit of cash, and we're going to go straight into gameplay here. We're going to do the first level. So when you weaken an enemy enough, you can possess them like this, and you basically get an entire new moveset. So let's go and possess martial arts guy. I should also explain something else here. Turn off the sound a little bit. The game has command mode and quick mode, so if you're used to like Smash Brothers, you might want to use that. But if you use quick mode, you do less damage. So personally, I've played a lot of Knights of Valor, Alien vs. Predator, Streets of Rage games and stuff. You actually do more damage when you use the command. So if you're wanting to play optimally, it's probably better to use command mode, but at the same time, you know, there's execution errors, and that might cost you a run at some point, so you definitely want to decide if that's worth it or not. Alright, here we go. So after every combat room, you will get upgrades, and there's random things to choose from. This is pretty standard roguelike fare, nothing really interesting there. I'm going to try to get one of the implants, but you guys can see how that works. So each combat room will have certain objectives, and if you clear them, you get an extra item. So some of them can be to override NPCs, which basically means to possess the characters. Sometimes you have to get a certain combo count, like there. You have to deflect projectiles or just take as less, as little damage as possible. Now the problem with this is that some of the objectives are like borderline impossible to meet. Like once you do deflect projectiles and there's only like one projectile enemy that spawns, what often will happen is that you just kind of stand there and try to fish for deflects, and I feel like it kind of slows the game down. But I'm sure that will get worked out in time. Also, the cool thing about this game is that basically every playable character is a new moveset to use. So, they'll probably have like more ranged characters later. But right now there's a very limited amount. So sometimes you kind of get screwed over by that. See in the upper left-hand corner, the orange bar? That is your super bar. So it's on a cooldown, but you can also get a implant or upgrade that will let you basically reduce the cooldown when you hit something. So, like a combo-oriented playstyle, that's definitely the way to go. Sometimes you might not actually want to do the objectives, because you might have a really good, character that you're playing as, and it may not be worth it to override multiple times. So you definitely will have to have some decision making. Is it really worth going for the bonus objective if you're, already got a pretty good character and build? It may not actually be worth it. So you definitely have to take that into consideration. Like, is it really worth it to upgrade? Is it really worth it to upgrade when you already have a pretty decent character? Sometimes the answer is no. And you'll kind of have to decide whether it's worth going for or not. Definitely some interesting decision-making in this game that's very different from how a lot of other roguelikes work, where like the main thing that you need to worry about is just the items that you pick. But there's actually a lot of strategy to who you decide to play as, whether you decide to go for the objectives or not, and then what move enhancers, implants you put on your character. I definitely, this game is not out yet, so I'm learning as I go. There's no one else, putting up videos of this as far as I know. So, there definitely are some times I've bricked runs because I chose an implant that was not good for the character I'm playing. Like, this guy's dash punch is really good, so if you're going to choose something that pushes them away, your run's pretty much bricked unless you decide to replace that slot. Alright, got the mini quest there. Unfortunately, I'm not really getting a lot of luck with being able to show the implants. Try to get that counter. No dice. Pretty good example of the flaws of the objective system. It wants me to deflect projectiles, but I've got all melee enemies. Got the one Kunoichi there. Ah, here we go. So this is a good example of how the drone system works. Basically, if I put this on the dash punch, it completely ruins the combo that I use. So you don't want to put it on that. So you have 4 slots here, so it basically corresponds to how it would work if you were playing on the quick input mode. So you see on the left-hand side, you can see the input. When you use the linked input, then the drone will come out, and there's various different drones that you can use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the big dash punch, the big fire punch that he does, quarter circle forward. I'm going to use that. Alright, got a shop here. Damage bonus is an obvious take. Hack threshold is basically just how many hits you need to do before you can override or possess the character. But I don't particularly use that much. Really depends on how you're built. Right now, I'm kind of just built on using this one character. So this is the one I was talking about, kinetic cooling. This basically just turns the overload bar into a meter system. But fortunately, I don't have enough money. I didn't notice it. That's alright. It's all good. So now you see when I do this fire punch, the blade comes out because I linked the drone to that move input. So like I said, an insane amount of depth with how the system works. It's a really cool way to do roguelike builds. That's different from a lot of other things on the market currently. Let's try to get this upgrade. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Okay, got another drone here, so I'm going to put this on the up kicks. It's actually really good because while they're up in the air, the drone will hit them with the sword and relaunch. There we go. Alright, so let's show that off. Pretty cool. I don't feel like going for the counter. I want to show the full gameplay loop, so I don't want to die. Let's try to get the full gameplay loop in one take. Alright, I need those for the boxer guy I'm currently playing as to upgrade him, so I'm gonna go with that. I could definitely say when I started playing this game, I tried to hit every, combat room objective, but it's actually not a good idea. Sometimes it may cause you to get hit too much, or you may lose a build that you're currently on. Because once all the enemies die, there's not going to be any more of the particular character you're playing. So you might not want to. It really depends. This game just looks like a simple beat-em-up, but the roguelike aspects of it are actually pretty interesting because the strategy, due to the drone system and the possession system, is really unique compared to a lot of other stuff on the market. Luckily, when you die in this game, it's not really soul-crushing. Generally, you'll take a bunch of materials back and you'll get some experience for whoever you were playing as. So it's not too bad, but still, obviously, you want to optimize. Obviously, you want to optimize, your runs and everything so that you're not constantly wiping. Alright, that's a pretty good build. We're just gonna do normal because I don't want to wipe. I did hard before I started recording. You know how things go when you record, folks. Everything bad happens. Go. Got comboed. Alright, there you go. So runs for this, basically when you choose a level, that's the end of the run right there. There's not like multiple levels that you choose currently. So if you like roguelikes that are 30 minutes or less, I can't recommend this game enough. As you can see, that counted as a full run, and it was only 12 minutes. On some of the harder levels, it takes maybe 20, 25, but not enough to overstay its welcome. You still get enough time to really enjoy your build, and the meta progression in this game, like I said, is pretty interesting. I still don't have this guy's stuff. Alright, you're gonna have to get pushed back, buddy. So let's see if I can go to the workshop here. This will be a little surgery trauma center minigame. It's nothing too crazy, which I think is a good thing. The focus should be on the combat. But yeah, if you do this perfectly, you can get like more experience, and I think you can get more copies of the item you're trying to craft as well. I got some fat experience there. I don't think I have enough to get this guy what he wants. He's my strongest character, so he's obviously going to start demanding higher quality stuff. He doesn't want to play Vampire Survivors clones anymore. He wants to play cool stuff like this. Alright, that's a pretty fat upgrade. No more time left there, so let's go ahead and push this guy to the back. Yeah, still need 5 more. Alright, you're getting pushed, buddy. Alright, she got a pretty big upgrade. So he upgraded a passive. That's pretty cool. Alright, well, buddy, you're going to have to wait until next time, man. A day is essentially when you go out of an instance, meaning if you die or if you clear, it actually doesn't matter. So ideally, you want to keep clearing runs, because if you don't, This guy is offering 30,000 right now, and then he's also going to get a big experience upgrade, meaning that he's going to be a lot stronger and or get more properties. So you don't want to push these guys back too long. Generally, you want to make sure that you get to them right away. So sometimes what you might want to do is maybe just play on normal and try to get all the way to the end and get as many materials as you can. That way when the next day starts, you might have enough materials to get what they need. Alright, so you can go over here, see if anybody got upgraded. She got upgraded to B-. Yeah, see, he's about to level up to rank B, so it's going to require more and more stuff. Essentially what happens is there's a bunch of story quests that I can't show because I already cleared the game, the current content. Right now, there's not really a warning that, like, hey, you know, you've cleared the current content and, you know, there's not more at the moment, but there will be more later. Basically, you'll see a cliffhanger, and at that point, you can kind of just go into the end game, wait for content grind mode. So if you ever played, you know, Hades, you know how Hades does it, where they have, you know, a boss, and then it tells you, hey, we're working on more stuff, but you can keep playing and grinding if you want. It will happen in about, I'd say, 3 to 6 hours, depending on how quickly you clear, what choices you make, and then also if you have any beat-em-up experience. Experience definitely does carry you quite a bit, but you definitely will die a couple times just because of not having things unlocked, and all the characters you possess will start with very little. They won't have any properties, they won't have their supers, and they won't do a lot of damage. But you can still reach the end of the current content in about 3 to 6 hours. So if that's not enough for you, you might want to wait. But personally, I'm having fun just doing this grind personally, because I know that when they add more content, I'll just be more powerful and I'll be able to get through it quick. Overall, I really enjoy this game. I really like how it's doing something different. Roguelikes have been very saturated for a while now. You know, Vampire Survivors and Hades got popular, and now everybody's just making those games, and, you know, it gets a little tiresome. I mean, every time I go on Steam, there's like 10 more Vampire Survivors clones. I think this game is doing something really cool, which is combining beat-em-up gameplay with like a possession system and roguelike stuff. So it really does stand out. I think the graphics are great. You know, the game does use skeletal animation, but unlike a lot of other games with skeletal animation, it actually looks really fluid. The impact of the game is great with the screen shake and all the properties you can inflict, like the wall bounces and the launches and stuff. The screen shake's a little bit excessive, but hopefully they'll tone that down in the future. I do not know what the price for the game will be because it's not currently released, but I definitely think it's got enough content for now. They said that it's going to be in early access for at least 9 months, so if you're like roguelikes and you're waiting for other stuff, like, you know, there's the Hades 2 update coming, and then Blaze Blue Entropy Effect, which is also kind of a beat-em-up style roguelike, is going to get a major update in a few months. This is a perfect game to get regardless of the price. I definitely am very impressed with it. I played the demo and they've improved it. They've added even more content, and then also it's just fun to play in general. Definitely when they add more stuff, it's just going to get even better from here on out. So thanks to the developers for allowing me to get a review key. Thanks to them for allowing me to help them with Steam Deck testing and stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Probably I'll be playing this game on my home streams because currently the game is locked to 1080p, so Steam Deck gameplay, along with the performance bug, which you guys didn't see because I kind of fixed it on my end with capping the game at 60 FPS and then doubling the frame rate with lossless scaling. It's not too great for Steam Deck right now. They said that they're going to do a Steam Deck preset or maybe optimize the resolution or something so that it'll run better, but the development team does not currently have a Steam Deck, so they're kind of relying on me to help them test it, and hopefully I can get it to a good spot because, you know, I like to play games like this at my other job. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you on the next video.